everybody. In this video I'm going to be doing a modification to my Carefree Latitude awning on this travel trailer. It's from here to here is 8 feet, from here to the end is 18 feet. I like this Carefree awning. It's nice because it has the arms here. When it pulls out, you don't have it like some trailers where you have an arm here and then you got a bar here where you hit your head all the time, and there's one on the other end. So it's free floating out there. The only problem I'm having is it's got, see this sag here? So what happens is the water, if I have it out when it rains, it will fill with water and it won't drain off, and it'll just start sagging down and down in the canvas there, so in the awning material, and it won't drain off, and you can't really slope these too much where you could run off one end. So I'm gonna have to correct that problem, because we like to camp out in the rain sometimes, and we like to have under here a barbecue or picnic table and sit out in the rain camping. It's fine during the summer months, you don't have a problem with it then, but it's the winter months that get you. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put these arms in that go like this, and it kind of pushes it up. I have 3 of them and they're removable. So the only thing that is bad about it is this awning has a sensor in it, so if it gets windy, it'll automatically go in. But I have a switch to turn that off that's built in with the system. So I'll have to make sure when I have my bars in here that the switch is off, so it doesn't try and come in on me if it gets windy at all. But so let's get going. I'm going to show you what I got to do to get this set up. But first I'm going to show you the bars that I'm going to install. Here's what I chose to purchase through Amazon. It's made by Lippert Components. It's an Awnbrella support bars, which these bolts, you can loosen them up and then they expand out. So they fold up to roughly 60 inches and then they expand out to 8 feet. They come in a box, and then no instructions whatsoever. I searched online and I found these and I printed them off. And I'll make sure I put in the description below this video a link to the instructions and the product I use. And then also Carefree sells theirs, but it's like twice as much money. So I kind of like this setup better. It's less expensive. I wish they had designed the awning so I wouldn't even have to use these, but that's not how it is, and it's cheaper to go this route than replace the whole awning with something else. So in the box, when I got it, the first box, the box was destroyed. All that was in it was these supports, and the hardware was all missing. So I reported it to Amazon, and then they shipped out a new box, which this one was damaged also, but none of the product was damaged. So here's what the hardware looks like. And it shows here how you loosen these up and they expand. And then it tells you here how many bars you need, supports for how long the awning width is. And it kind of shows you a picture of how they install. But it doesn't tell really how to install it, so you got to have the manual to do that. But I'm going to cover all that hopefully in this video. So let's go ahead and go up and look here by the awning, and I'll show you what I've done to lay it out, and then what we're going to do, discuss that. Opening up the manual here to page 3, you can see here the spacing that they have here. So what they got is for a 14 to 18 foot awning, it says 3 arms, and it says you want 54 inches between each one. So I'll have 54 for each one of these, not the 42 like it shows in there, for an example. So let's go up above and I'll show you what I've done to mark out where things will go. I've got the awning roll marked out. every 56 inches with the piece of tape, as you can see there. And then I did the same over here, every 56 inches from the edge to there. You can see the piece of tape. And then over here, I installed one of these brackets that installs on the side of the trailer. So here, I've got it from there down 3 inches. The instructions say to go an 1/8 inch down, but there's no way I could do it. So when I put the support strap in, I'll show you the reason why I went at this location rather than up tight against the awning. And then going around over here on the other side, I drilled a hole, 7/16 hole, and they say to put the hole at 1/2 inch from the seam where the fabric goes in the roll there, but I didn't, and I'll show you why on that. So I actually went 1/2 inch down from the fabric and put the hole in there. So I'm going to put the bar in and show you what it looks like with the bar in there. Before we go putting the bar in, so that hole that I drilled, you see this one with the tip on it? That will go in the hole, and on the other end where the trailer is, it will sit into this pocket here, like that. So in the pocket, it has a big end and a narrow end. The big end is towards the bottom. So when you do this, they say to unscrew this, move this out, and have this knob roughly 8 inches from the end, just roughly. Just like that. So I'm going to go ahead and put this up and show you what it does, and then I'm going to go through the process of showing you how I drilled everything and mounted the brackets. So here's how you put the brace in here. It goes right in that hole like that. See, it just slides right in like that, and then I'll show you how the other end goes in its slot. So the directions say to loosen this knob up, bring this down like this, drop it in that little pocket, push this up slightly, make sure it's tight in there like that, and then it's good to go. It feels good, but I want it a little bit tighter. So I'm going to remember this location here. I'm going to slide this over, make it a little tighter by taking this out like that. I'm going to move that over just a little bit, maybe a 1/2 inch. Then I'm going to push it tight, stick it in there, and now it's nice and tight. So that works out real well. So a tip here is maybe take a felt tip marker, mark here and mark on the other end, and that way you can have everything put together before you put it up, and you just slide it in the pocket on the roll end, and then you got this, and just drop it in here, and you're all good to go. And when you store this away, just slide it all back and then put it wherever you're going to store it. I'm going to have a compartment where I have it stored. So that works good. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I mount these up. Here's a close-up of what it looks like in the pocket. I'm going to show you how I install this hanger block. So this is how they come, just like this. And you can see there's just metal back here. They don't give you any rubber to put down here, any sealant, anything. So I'm going to use my Gorilla tape. It's a mounting tape, two-sided adhesive tape. So I'll put it on here, and then what I'll do is I'll stick it up in place, and then it's got a nice seal. Then I'll put the screw through here, and it'll go through that tape and create a nice seal, and I'll screw right into the side of the trailer, just like that. So it should go pretty fast, and this will help adhere it to the wall, and also it'll hold it in place from trying to move around because you're probably just going into siding and really probably not into any metal or anything here. So you want all the holding power you can. There it is, got the two-sided tape on there. Now let's put it up there. So we might be able to see if there's any metal behind here. When I did that center one, there was no metal behind it, but I'm thinking there might be because of this here. So I'm just going to take a regular stud finder and run it across. If there's a red light, that'll mean there's something back there. So it's possible that we got something to screw into. So I'm going to go ahead and put this up. Pull this tape off like that. Have the big side of this here pointed down. Stick it in place, center it like that. And then, now that that's in place, take and see if we got some metal behind that. And it doesn't feel like there's anything behind there, but that's okay. We'll get a nice seal through that tape too. So you don't want to strip it. So it's in place just like that. So I'm going to go ahead and do the other one. I'm not going to bother showing you how I do it, but you can see that's pretty good. So I feel pretty confident that this is going to work. So I've taken the awning and extended this out a little bit so that I can drill in here, because remember before it was up close to the fabric here. So I've taken a punch, I've punched here, got it started. I'm going to drill a hole in here with this drill bit, just a pilot hole. So that's just a pilot hole. Then I'm going to step it up to the next size up and then end up at a 7/16 hole. So I won't bore you with that. I'll come back to you after I drill the holes. So now I've got that drilled out. I'm going to take my tape off. I always take and put tape on there so that I can make my marks on the tape rather than marking it all over the project, whatever I have. So I do it when I hang pictures and everything. So that's how I do that. So you don't want any sharp edges here. So it says you take a little 1/4-inch file, run it around, get rid of all the sharp edges. I've got them all in place, and I want to show you something up here. Remember in the beginning I was mentioning that I didn't want to drill the hole so close to the fabric up here. I want to keep a little bit of distance here from the fabric. So it's pretty tight, but I didn't want anything rubbing against it there. Right here it's pretty tight. So they say, let me zoom out, this might try to move back and forth a little bit, which I don't think so. Let me show you what they have for that. And I'm not going to install it now, but I want to show you what they have. So here's what it looks like from here. I'm going to show you a few different angles of this so you can see what it looks like from looking down from my roof and out from away from the trailer a little bit. So here's another thing they say to do. On the center of the arch here, I'm going to go right up here. They say to stick black Velcro right there, underneath there, and then the white Velcro onto this bar. And then the pressure will be pushing down on this Velcro to make it all stick, because there's a sticky pad on each one. And it says to leave it in place for 48 hours in at least 70-degree weather. They don't want it cold. and they said it so it'll adhere to this, but clean everything off with rubbing alcohol first. So I have cold weather, so I don't think I need to do this. I'm going to keep an eye on it. If I do have to, then I'll go ahead and put them on, but I'll put them on when it's warmer weather. Before I move on here to show you what everything looks like completed, I almost forgot to show you this here, why I left this gap here rather than having this block up near the awning frame here. Is supposed to be about an 1/8 inch down. If I'd done that, what would have happened is it would have taken, if I moved that up, this arch would have been up higher, and then the slope would have been going downward, so the water wouldn't be able to shed off and over that. So what I did was I kept it so it was more straight like this, and then it goes and it drops off. So I'll take you up to the top and show you what I'm talking about, and then you'll understand, if you don't already, why I did this. So I guess all awnings are a little bit different. If I was able to do maybe more slope on this, where I'd able to drop this down farther, then it might have worked. So it depends on your awning, I think. So I had to go this route, and it works for me. So let's go up on top and I'll show you how it is flat up there, and if I had moved that up, what it would have looked like. So I'm going to try and show you the best I can. Hopefully the camera picks this up. But right now, this line here goes across, and then it goes, and then it drops down to drain. So you can kind of see here how it arches up. So if I had raised that up over here, the bar up here, it would have came up like that, and then it arched way up, and it wouldn't allow the water to shed off of the top here. So I hope you understand that. And so you got to take a look and figure it out for your own style of awning, where you want to put those blocks against the trailer. Here's a view from the roof. I like how this turned out. You can see the support, it goes out straight and then it drops off. So the water's gonna shed off. And then same here, it's gonna shed off this way. So it looks like I got it covered. Pretty happy with it. I just wish I didn't have to use those supports in the first place, but I have to. It's only during the winter months, so I'll be okay with that. Here's what it looks like underneath. And here's from a distance. I want to show you with the awning in. Before I installed this, I made sure that everything would clear once I got this together. So everything clears, that bracket there, and then over here clears, and the other one clears. So it's very important that you make sure that everything's going to clear before you install it. So that's it for this video. If you have a sagging awning, you might want to do something like this. If you camp only during the summer, then you don't really have to worry about it so much. But I hope you learned something. I know I did. I wish I hadn't had to do this, like I mentioned a few times, but I had to. So if you like it, feel free to leave comments. I like to read comments. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. Other people read your comments and they learn from your comments. So, and if you haven't subscribed, I hope you subscribe and hit that bell notification to get notified of future videos. And if you can, give me a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, thumbs down. Doesn't matter to me either way, but I appreciate your feedback. Thanks a lot for watching. Take care, everybody, and happy camping.